India's counter-terror diplomacy and challenges ahead. The decision to host the United Nations Security Council's Counterterrorism Committee is one of several events planned by the Government of India to strengthen its counter-terror diplomacy. How India is strengthening its counter-terror diplomacy? 1. Last month, October, the special meeting of the UNSCCTC was hosted by India in Mumbai and Delhi, focusing on new and emerging technologies. 2. Later this month, November, New Delhi will host the third edition of the No Money for Terror conference for tackling future modes of terror financing. 3. Next month, December, India will chair a special briefing on the global counterterrorism architecture, looking at the challenges ahead. 4. However, it is critical to evaluate some of the current challenges, particularly when the world is dealing with the war in Europe, COVID-19 and the global recession. Challenges ahead for India. 1. The foundation of the global war on terrorism is an unequal approach. For example, 1. US's counterterrorism efforts post 9/11 attack differs from its recent approach to negotiate with the Taliban and then withdrew from Afghanistan. 2. Pakistan was recently removed from the Financial Action Task Force grey list. This shows that counterterrorism cooperation will become less cooperative in the future, and counterterrorism regimes such as UNSC Resolutions 1267 and 1373 will become ineffective. 2. Increasing global division over the Russia-Ukraine conflict. It is not only shifting the focus from terrorism but is also blurring the definition of what constitutes terrorism. For example, 1. Drone attacks by Yemeni Houthis on the UAE's oil infrastructure were condemned as terrorist attacks, while drone attacks on Russian ships in a port used for loading grain were not. This division has rendered the UNSC unable to pass any meaningful resolutions as they are vetoed either by Russia, Western members or China. For example, India's proposal for the Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism has made very little progress due to a lack of consensus over the definition of terrorism. Emerging technologies used for terrorism purposes. Drones, biowarfare, and gain-of-function research to mutate viruses and vectors, artificial intelligence systems, and robotic soldiers makes it even easier to perpetrate mass attacks while maintaining anonymity. 2. Terror financing uses bitcoins and cryptocurrency, and terror communications use the dark web. 1. Terrorist acts of the future will grow more and more lethal, thus, developing a global consensus on what constitutes terrorism. Regulating the use of emergent technologies by all responsible states is the need of the hour. Reducing global inequality, food and energy shortages, and adverse impacts of climate change and pandemics needs to be on the top of the agenda of the international community. As the host of these counterterrorism meetings, India must set the global narrative of not only fighting the last war on terrorism but also preparing for the next.